Olunaku olwaleero omusomo ogukuteekateekeddwa ekitongole kya International Conference on the Great Lakes Region guguddwawo era ng'omusomo guno gugenda kulungula ennaku 5 n'ambirira. Omusomo guno gulimu ebitongole omuli ekya poliisi, ekyamakomera, woofiisi y'omuwabi wa gavumenti awamu n'ebitongole ebirala ng'essiga eddamuzi. Era ng'ensisinkano eno yayekuusiza ku butya eddembe ly'obuntu lirina okuba nga likuumibwa. Jjukira nti mu kaseera nga kano nga twolekera oba nga tuli mu kaseera k'ebyobufuzi, ensonga y'eddembe ly'obuntu ebeera nnyo ku mwanjo okuba nti bisoosowazibwa okulaba nti abantu eddembe lyabwe likuumibwa n'okutuukiriza eddembe lyabwe ery'okulonda okusobola okulaba nti buli omu tafuna buvune ng'agenda mu maaso n'eddembe limu bassemateeka. So mu nsisinkano eno abakungu bekikwatako mu ddembe ly'obuntu basinkanyeemu okulaba nti batema empenda ku butya eddembe ly'obuntu erina okuba nti likwatibwamu na butya gye balina okulwanira eddembe lyabo abatulugunyizibwa mu ngeri emu oba endala n'abo abatafuna biki bateekeddwa kufuna ddala obwenkanya mu kulaba nti buli kimu kitambula bulungi. So ensisinkano eno ereeteddwa ekitongole kya International Conference on Great Lakes Region era nga kikulembeddwamu omukyala Honorable Dora Byamukama nga yakiikiridde Regional Director w'ekitongole kino wano mu bitundu bino era nga mu kwogera kwe ategeeza nti ensisinkano eno ebaddeko mu bitundu eby'enjawulo okwetoola eggwanga era nga wano mu Elgon bannamukisa nti ensisinkano eno bagenda kubafunamu amagezi ag'enjawulo ku butya eddembe ly'omuntu lirina okukwatibwamu n'okulaba nti batuukiriza naddala amateeka amapya agabagibwa gye buvuddeko era nga muno mwe muli okuba nti singa omuntu abazizza omusango ddala mu kitongole ng'ekya poliisi oba amagye oba kyonna avunaanibwa ng'omuntu oba singa ekitongole nti abazizza ensonga lwaki bambala yunifoomu okuli amannya gabwe okulaba nti abazizza oba alina eddembe ly'omuntu lyalinyiridde ye ng'omuntu avunaanibwa nga ye. So okuva mu kitongole ekya poliisi avunaanyizibwa ku nsonga za kalikulamu oba ebyokusomesa awamu n'enteekateeka y'emirimu gya poliisi omukulu SCP Dr. Kamya John akubiriza abasirikale ba poliisi awamu n'abeetabye mu nsisinkano ne bali mu nsonga y'okulaba nti eddembe ly'obuntu likuumibwa kinnawadda okulaba nti amagezi ge bajja wano bagakozesa bulungi era bagagabaneko n'abo abatazze mu kulaba nti eddembe ly'obuntu lisobola okukwatibwa bulungi. So byonna tugenda kuba tubikutuusaako ku Mosan Media.
Our officers are drawn from different institutions in this region of Elgon. These institutions include Uganda Police Force, Uganda Prison Services. We have officers from the Judiciary, the DPP. We have an officer from Uganda Human Rights Commission, among others. Our chief facilitator, sir, Elgon region is comprised of 6 districts and 1 city.
So you may be wondering, what is this International Conference on the Great Lakes Region? I hope some of you have heard about it. If you have not, I would like to introduce this entity to you, which is partnering with the Uganda Police Force to conduct this training. So the International Conference on the Great Lakes Region is composed of 12 member states. 12 member states. And these include Angola, include Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Republic of Sudan, Republic of Congo, United Republic of Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo, Republic of Uganda, Republic of Kenya, and Republic of Zambia. So if you, and I know most of you have studied geography, if you notice carefully, most of these countries are neighboring the Democratic Republic of Congo. So this is one of the main reasons why this entity was put in place. It's a regional mechanism. It's not a regional economic community. It's a regional mechanism. And the essence of the ICGLR, as we call it, is to ensure that we create conditions for security, stability, and sustainable development between member states. It was created in 2006 at a time when there was war in the DRC Congo. Unfortunately, conflict has never ceased, and the United Nations was very concerned, as well as the African Union, and they put in place this entity called ICGLR to be able to help create conditions of peace, security, stability, and development. So these countries, the 12 countries, have a pact. So based on this pact, security, stability, and development of 2006. So what do we do? What is our mandate? ICGLR Regional Training Facility. You see ICGLR RTF. Our mandate is to train and sensitize. And these are very specific people who handle cases of sexual and gender-based violence. And it is stated in a protocol which is called the Prevention and Suppression of Sexual Violence Against Women and Children of 2006, which refers to this facility as a special regional facility for training and sensitizing judicial officers, police units, social workers, medical officers, and other categories of persons who handle cases of sexual violence in the Great Lakes region. Obviously, as you can see, the police is highly ranking here, and as well as the judiciary and others. So if you're not here, your category, don't worry, because we have those other special categories which handle sexual and gender-based violence. So this is what we do, and this is why we are here today. And of course, we are looking at a very special topic, which is promoting a human rights-based approach in protecting rights of minority groups, and these include women, children, refugees, persons with disabilities, older persons, including civil and political rights, the justice actors of the Uganda Police Force, Office of the Directorate of the Public Prosecutions, the Judiciary Human Rights Commission, the Electoral Commission, Prison Service, civil society organizations, and we're delighted to be here in the Mount Elgon region. Training has already been conducted in other regions. At least I know I was party to the one in the Kigezi region. Another was conducted in the Rizi region. Now we are here in the Mount Elgon region, and we are delighted to be here. Mulembe. All of you don't speak it, but if you serve in the area, you must know. Not so? Yes, yes. First of all, just mentioning that the objective of the meeting, which you may already be aware of, is really to ensure that in whatever we do, we apply a human rights-based approach. And that in the work that we do, we look out for those who are marginalized, those who are the minority, and we pay special attention to them. I know the objectives will be highlighted just before we do the training, and but I just wanted to highlight that this is very important, because, for example, if an older person comes to your premises and has to climb these steps which you have climbed today, it will be an impossibility. So it means that you may have to improvise in your place of work to ensure that right from the gate, that policeman at the gate will be able to recognize the needs of these older persons, and that this person is able to access the services that he or she desires, because we are here to serve, not so. We've brought together different categories of people because you know it is chain linked. When I come to report my case to the police will work with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The office will work with probation and social welfare officers. That office will work with the judiciary. That office will work with other social workers, CDOs, DCDOs in the different communities. We may eventually end up in court or finally in prisons. So when you see yourself sitting next to somebody who's not uniformed. Don't ask and say, how does this person come here? We are all chain linked, and of course, even from prison, it comes back to the community with the help of social welfare officers, community officers, who are able to resettle these people. So it's very important that we understand each other's work. Otherwise, you may be doing your work very well as in the police, but you find that your cases are not properly prosecuted, or you get no conviction, and yet you took so much time investigating a case and getting proper evidence on it.
And this training is not the first of its kind, as Honorable Dollar said. This program has been on for 8 years. And for the 8 years, our funding partner was the British High Commission. And the British High Commission always passes their support. They don't give direct government support. They pass it through another partner, implementing partner. So at first, we used to pass the money through Urinate. Why am I giving you this history? Because we must have met some of you in the field when we were with Urinate. There are some of you whom we met on this Judiciary Commission. It was for police alone. The whole program had been police officers in human rights and gender issues and rights of marginalized groups. So, after 8 years of police implementation, the program was reviewed, and the feedback was all the issues that are being discussed with it during this training concern the whole criminal justice chain, and we need our partners to be with us, because at this level it's not even more of training people, it's more of sharing experience and discussing solutions to existing problems. So it was during the review, it was agreed that the next phase of training should include all the other justice actors in the criminal justice system. So when that proposal came, we approached ICGLR and the police, approached all your departments. I wouldn't call them departments, but hey, anyway, let me call them departments at that. Judiciary, DPP, prisons, those sectors. We approached your sectors, approached your bosses, went to prisons headquarters, went to judiciary headquarters, we saw the chief registrar, went to prisons, we didn't see CGP, but we saw the Director Human Resource, Mr. Hilary Bishanga. We went to the Uganda Human Rights Commission, we met the Director Education, Documentation and Research, Director Kamadi. We went to ODPP, we met to have joint training. So all of you who are here from those days, we went to EC, we met the HR from your sectors. We now do the training needs assessment to really see what are the issues we can discuss affecting the sector in the area of human rights and the policing or handling marginalized groups. Sharing experiences, sharing knowledge, how are we going to tackle these problems from now on, and especially in the political, this hot political season. So that's why we are here. Your worships, your names were given to us by the Chief Registrar from campus. It targets rights of marginalized groups. There are many, you will get to know them, but you know them, you are practitioners. And it also includes civil and political rights, because we are in a political season, and even if it doesn't end, it seems to be a continuous thing. and how are we going to handle the challenges that relate to handling these groups as a sector. Because in the first phase of the training, when you're with the police alone, everything you bring up, it's the state attorney who delays with the files. It's the courts which don't finish cases. Blame game. It's the Human Rights Commission which doesn't like us. So now we said, okay, let us bring all of these people together now. You arrange state attorney response. You arrange the courts of losses, but it's you, the police, who investigates forever. 2 years, investigation is not complete, and so on. So that by the time we leave here, we have found perfect solutions to the problems that face us. And of course, human rights is key to our work these days, because some laws have changed, and there is no more hiding behind groups, behind government. The Human Rights Enforcement Act has come in, emphasizing personal accountability, personal liability. The Anti-Torture Act is in place, emphasizing personal liability. Public Order Management Act is in place, and so many things. So it's also important that our officers discuss and understand issues of human rights seriously, because it's a key. It's at the center of the way we do work. However much you do work best, if you don't respect human rights, you have washed your clothes and dried them in the mud. In Uganda we say, oyozeza ateno noyanika mataka. You have washed your clothes very well, but you have put them on the soil. So the facilitators are going to come from both ICGLR and the participating partners. For me, in the police, I have come with Madame Maureen Haile, Acting Commissioner, CFPD, another facilitator, and I urge you to give it the ultimate importance it deserves. I know you are very busy people, but let us observe these 5 days, commit them, so that we help each other to learn more and to find solutions to the problems that are affecting the implementation of or the delivery of justice in the Elgon region. And with those few remarks, I welcome you once again, and I declare this 5-day human rights training on the rights of vulnerable groups, including civil and political rights, officially open. Thank you. My name is Senior Commissioner of Police, Dr. Kamya John. I head the Curriculum and Doctrine Department in Police Headquarters in Nakuru. We are here for a 5-day training in human rights for justice actors. The main theme of the training is rights of marginalized groups, that is women, children, older persons, people living with disabilities, and also to discuss civil and political rights, due to the fact that we are in a political environment, given that the national elections are near. So we have brought all of the justice actors together, the police, the judiciary, the office of the DPP, and the Uganda Human Rights Commission, the Electoral Commission, the prison service, civil society organizations, to discuss issues of human rights. We are working in partnership with our government partners, the Judiciary Commission, which gives us the funding, and our implementing partner, which is International Conference on the Great Lakes Region, which is implementing this training. So the purpose is to bring all these justice actors together, and we iron out and discuss the problems affecting the administration of especially criminal justice and iron them out. Earlier trainings used to focus only on police, and during the trainings we discovered that there was a lot of blame gaming. The police saying, we would have done this, but the ODPP delays us to sanction files. We would have served justice better, but the courts take long to sit or to decide the cases. So there was a lot of blame gaming, and then we discussed that we should put these people together, because human rights is key to the delivery of service, especially the delivery of justice. There is no way you can administer justice. There is no way you can do police work effectively if you are not observing human rights. There is no way you can keep people in prisons and rehabilitate them if you are violating their rights. There is no way you can try people in courts without giving them all their full rights that they accrue to them during the delivery of justice, and so on. So all of these actors, it's very important that they understand human rights properly and observe them in the process of their work. It's one of our main objectives to, first of all, to enlighten our officers about civil and political rights that citizens are entitled to, and then to discuss how we can effectively implement them. And the purpose is that during the political process, all the actors understand people's rights and they understand the mechanism to implement them and to serve them to the people. So it's very important, and it was well targeted and well planned for this process, for this timing, so that by the time we enter into the political season, our officers understand issues of human rights. The main message is that people have rights. People have human rights. They are rights holders, and that police, government actors, police, judiciary, prisons have a duty to respect these rights. So the program is premised on the rights-based approach, the human rights-based approach. That's the main message, that we are training our officers to adopt the human rights-based approach to all the work, the processes of work that they do.
Honorable Dora Byamukama, and we're here in the Mount Elgon region, particularly to conduct training for justice actors. I'm here representing the International Conference on the Great Lakes region, and we have a regional director called Honorable Dr. Janvier Ndirahisha, who will be joining us on Friday. And this particular entity is composed of 12 member states. And therefore, Uganda is one of those member states. We are not only looking at Uganda, we are bringing to the fore lessons from the other 12 member states, because we also have a pact on democracy and good governance. So obviously, it's also an opportunity for us to share good practices from the 12 member states, which Uganda can learn from. Uganda actually is quite a good role model, much as we may have our challenges, but Uganda is a jet setter, and I'd like to salute all of us and the government for what is in place, like the Human Rights Enforcement Act. And this training focuses on a human rights-based approach, and it targets the marginalized populations that we have, or what you could also call the minority groups. And these are specifically, for example, women, especially, for example, not all women are the same. There are some women who are living in rural areas and they are poor, and maybe they are widows. So you'll find that even within those groups, there are some intersections which make certain groups of people even more vulnerable. We're also looking at the issue of children. It's another target group. Children obviously suffer from abuse of power due to their age and incapacities. We also focus on persons with disability, and this is obvious because they always need to be taken into account. Their needs need to be taken into account when we are conducting our work as justice actors. It also focuses on older persons. This is a category which has come up recently. We have an Older Persons Act, which most of our justice actors need also to be comfortable with. And when I talk about justice actors, I'm talking about starting with the police. We have probation and social welfare officers. We have prosecutors. We have the judiciary. We have prisons. We have civil society organizations which usually provide services for these people, as well as other Human Rights Commission. We also have the Electoral Commission, purposely, because this is the season when we're looking at civil and political rights. And it's very, very important that justice actors are aware of the fact that when it comes to enforcement or persons enjoying their civil and political rights, minority groups or marginalized persons need special attention. So we'd like to make sure that we appreciate and understand this. For example, if someone comes to vote and she's carrying a baby, is breastfeeding, it's obvious that such a person would need to be facilitated so that she can be able to exercise her right and as well as, of course, her maternal duties. Yeah. So basically this is what we are doing, and it's very, very important again because new laws come up. For example, we have the Human Rights Enforcement Act. It's a very important law because previously some justice actors maybe could, let me put it bluntly, hide behind the law or their office. But right now the police is very clear. You wear your name, and when you commit a certain act, especially abuse of human rights, then you as an individual can be held accountable. It's very important that we know this, especially during this season where stakes are high. You may find that there's a tendency, maybe a likelihood for justice actors to be drawn in, and therefore they need to remain impartial and professional so that all members of the community are able to access their rights. But the message I would like to clearly really convey is that in whatever situation you find yourself as a justice actor, whether you're at the police station, whether you're in the judiciary, whether you're a community development officer or civil society organization, you must take into account the needs of the person who has come before you. For example, if someone comes to the police station and she's bleeding, she's been beaten, especially in this season, how are you going to handle this person if such a situation arises? And therefore it's very important that we work together. This is a joint meeting where we all train together and therefore strengthen the referral pathways that already exist.
Amanya nze Superintendent of Police Taitika Rogers ayogera police Mbugisu Sub-Region. Tuli basimu nnyo nti olunaku lwa leero ebitongole bino bivuddeyo ne bituleeta on board ng'abasirikale ne ba stakeholders okwetoloola mu byamateeka nga batuyigiriza ku ddembe ly'obuntu. Ffe nga police mu Bugisu Sub-Region olabira ddala nga abasirikale abalettebwa ku board ba criminal intelligence officers, ba investigating officer betwalise ba OCCIDs, ba OC posts, otunuliramu bana FFU, bamwayise ba madowadowa ne general command ba DPCs okulaba nga babaleese on board kuyigirizibwa kuno. Ffe tulabira ddala nga kintu kya nkizo nnyo, obukosi tebaalisobodde kubeera nti bayita buli omu, naye ffe nga security tusuubira nti abasirikale baffe bano abaliwo bonna bagenda kusinziira bajja kusinziira kuyiga kwe bakoze okwennaku ettaano okulabira ddala nga bazayo message eno eri mu bantu olw'okuba okusookera ddala twagala obukosa abasirikale babeere nga batunuulira abantu nga bakola emirimu gyabwe naye basookeze ddala ekintu kyo eddembe ly'obuntu omuntu amutunuulire nga alabira ddala omuntu customer care olabye ku kikwatagana ku bakadde ensonga ezikwatagana ku baana kugamba nga buli omu akitibwa ekintu twalina omusaayi ateekeddwa kubeera nga amukwatira ddala n'obukugu obusookera ddala nti eddembe ly'obuntu likola ki ate kati era nga wekiriwo nti omuntu yenyigidde mu kutyobola eddembe ly'omuntu tekikyali nti ate institution yegenda okubeera mu maaso go kiri kiriya nti omuntu ateekeddwa okubeera ng'omuntu azizza ensobi so kuno okuyigirizibwa tojja kugamba nti saamanya ate ng'oli mubuulire so ffe tuli basanyufu nnyo era tusuubira nti enjiri eno obukugu buno bwe tugenda okukola nga ffe police of course ne ba stakeholders baffe mu Bugisu sub-region egenda kubeera ya nkizo nnyo mu bintu actually mu nsonga eno eriwo ensonga y'eddembe actually Elgon sub-region tukoze bulungi nnyo naye ate wotunuulira nti wabaddewo bumulumuno obutabulawo kati otunuulira nga mu bibaddewo nga kati mu kalulu akakavaawo mu campaigns mubaddemu okusomoozebwa kungi nnyo nti watunulira ekyali mu northern division n'otunulira ekyali side z'ebulamu n'otunulira ekyali side z'ebuduuda n'olabira ddala nga abantu respect y'omuntu ku muntu okugamba okuyigirizibwa kuteekeddwa okubeera kuliki kyova olaba nti ba community liaison officers ffe tugamba nga police buli ateekako uniform eno abeera community liaison officer mu butuufu community policing bateekeddwa okubeera nga bagikola ate si kugikola ku bapoliisi bokka n'entire community so nga wentegezeza nti eno session y'ennaku ettaano egenda kubeera ya nkizo nnyo abasirikale baffe bajja kubuna ebyalo nga bayigiriza n'abantu ba bulijjo okubeera nga bawa respect omwana alabye atya taata we taata w'omwana alabye atya omwana we omusomesa ku ssomero atunuulidde atya omwana gwayigiriza n'omwana aze okuyiga abeere nga ategeera nti oli musomesa so ffe tulina essuubi nti wano ffenna nga tuzannya akazannyo kaffe ak'okuyigiriza abantu bano bajja kubeera nnyo bankizo mu kubunya enjiri y'eddembe ly'obuntu